Do you know that feeling of being stuck in an endless loop? Waking up every day promising that today will be different, that today you will be in control, that today you won't give in. But when night comes, there you are again. Same broken promise, same feeling of defeat, same silent shame that no one sees, but that you feel burning inside. Addiction doesn't scream at your door. It whispers in your ear with the gentlest voice in the world. It offers you comfort when everything feels too heavy. It promises you peace when the inner chaos won't let you breathe. And you accept it, because in that moment, any relief seems worth it. But here's the truth no one tells you. Every addiction is a response to a question you never asked out loud. And what if I told you that the cigarette you light automatically is not about nicotine? That the drink you reach for every Friday is not about the alcohol? That the endless hours scrolling on your phone are not about entertainment? Today you're going to understand what is really behind your behavior, and you're going to discover that the key to get out of this prison has always been in your hands. You just needed to know where to look. Society taught you that addiction is a lack of discipline, that it is moral weakness, that if you really wanted it, you would simply stop. But that is a cruel lie that only increases your guilt and keeps you even more trapped. Addiction is not about the substance or the behavior itself. It's about what it does for you. It's about the emptiness it fills, the pain it numbs, the silence it breaks. Every person who smokes a cigarette is, in truth, smoking something different. One smokes anxiety. Another smokes loneliness. Another smokes the memory of a trauma that was never processed. Think with me. If you were completely at peace, whole, connected with yourself, what would there be to escape from? Addiction is always an escape. But the question that changes everything is, escape from what? As long as you don't answer that with brutal honesty, you will keep fighting ghosts. Let's talk about the obvious addictions first, because they're the easiest to recognize. The alcohol that starts social and ends in secret. The cigarette that was just one, became a pack, became part of your identity. The pornography you consume in lonely dawns while the world sleeps. But there are addictions that society doesn't recognize as addictions. And these are the most dangerous ones, precisely because no one warns you about them. Are you addicted to approval, to likes, to external validation, to constantly needing to prove your worth to strangers on the internet? How many times have you checked social media today? 10, 20, 50. And every time there wasn't a new notification, you felt that tightness in your chest, that emptiness, that feeling that you don't matter. This is the most normalized addiction of the modern age. Everyone has it, no one admits it, and the tech industry makes billions keeping you trapped in this cycle of cheap dopamine and constant anxiety. And do you know what's worse? You can't just throw your phone away, you need it to work, to study, to communicate. It's like asking an alcoholic to work inside a bar and drink just enough to not get drunk. And there's more. Have you ever stopped to think that you might be addicted to suffering? To toxic relationships that repeat the same destructive pattern? To self-sabotage, to procrastination, to always being busy so you never have to stop and feel what is really happening inside you? Here's what happens in your brain when addiction settles in. There is an old primitive system that evolved to keep us alive. It makes us seek food when we're hungry, water when we're thirsty, connection when we're lonely. And when we find these things, our brain releases dopamine, that chemical that makes us feel good, that says, "This is important, do it again." But addictive substances and behaviors hijack this system. They release absurd amounts of dopamine, much more than any natural reward. Your brain, which was never prepared for this chemical bombardment, starts to adapt. It reduces natural dopamine production. It decreases the number of receptors. It is an attempt to protect itself from excess. And do you know what that means? It means that now you need the substance or behavior just to feel normal, not to feel good, just normal. And everything that once gave you pleasure, music, friends, hobbies, now feels dull, colorless, meaningless. Your whole life turns into shades of gray except when you're using. That is the perfect neurological trap. And the cruelest part, your brain doesn't forget. Even after months or years clean, it still remembers. A smell, a place, a specific emotion, and suddenly that craving comes back with full force. Not because you are weak, but because survival memories are the hardest to erase. Now comes the painful part, the part that requires courage. Because to get out of addiction, you first need to understand why you went in, and the answer is rarely pleasant. Maybe you drink so you don't have to feel the loneliness that has followed you since childhood. Maybe you smoke to have something to do with your hands when anxiety tightens. Maybe you spend hours on social media because real life feels too scary, full of responsibilities you're not sure you can carry. Maybe your addiction is the only way you know to deal with the anger you were never allowed to express, with the grief you never finished processing, with the trauma no one validated, with the shame you've carried since someone made you believe you were not enough. And here is the liberating truth. Addiction is not the problem. It is the solution you found, a bad, destructive, unsustainable solution, but still a solution to a real pain. And as long as you don't find better solutions for that pain, you will keep going back to the one you know. It's not about willpower. It's about finding healthier ways to meet the needs that addiction is trying to satisfy. Need connection? Seek real community, not virtual validation. Need relief? Learn emotional regulation techniques that actually work. Need to forget? Maybe it's time to finally remember, process, and release. Here's what no one tells you about recovery. There is no magical moment when everything becomes easy. There is no day when you wake up cured. What exists is a series of small choices, one after another, day after day, sometimes minute by minute. The first step is not to stop. The first step is to observe. Observe your pattern without judgment. When does the urge come? What emotion comes before it? What situation triggers it? Just observe, like a scientist studying an interesting phenomenon, because you can't change what you can't see. The second step is to pause. Between the trigger and the action, create a space. It may be 5 seconds at first. Breathe deeply 3 times. Feel the urge in your body without acting immediately. Discover that you can feel without being destroyed by what you feel. The third step is to redirect. The energy that pushes you toward the addiction is pure energy. It can be channeled into anything. Write down what you're feeling. Call someone who understands you. Do 20 push-ups until your body remembers it is alive. Turn impulse into conscious movement. And finally, seek help. There is no heroism in suffering alone. Therapy, support groups, friends who truly care, this is all necessary arsenal. Because addiction thrives in isolation, but dies in the light of genuine connection. You are not weak. You are not flawed. You are not broken beyond repair. You are human, carrying pains no one taught you how to process, using the tools you had available, even if those tools were hurting you. But now you know. You know that behind every compulsive behavior there is an unmet need. You know your brain was hijacked, but it can be reclaimed. You know the key is not to fight yourself, but to understand yourself. From today on, when the impulse comes, do it differently. Not with guilt, not with anger, but with compassionate curiosity. Ask, what are you trying to tell me? What do you need right now? And listen to the answer, because in that listening lies your freedom. If this video stirred something in you, leave your like. If you know someone who needs to hear this, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more content on psychology, self-knowledge, and real transformation. The video that appears on the screen now may be exactly the next step in your journey. A hug, and remember, you are not alone in this. See you in the next video.